What's up YouTube, this is Daniel and I'm back with my next video, and in this video, I'll be giving you a guide for shoe minting for beginners on STEPN. So let's jump right in. So the quick overview for shoe minting is that you are combining two of your shoes together to perform a shoe minting event, and that will provide you with one shoebox. And if you open that shoebox, you'll actually be able to review the sneaker inside that shoebox. But for me, I minted the new shoe from my Walker and Jogger sneakers, and that gave me a common shoebox. And upon opening the common shoebox, it gave me a new runner shoe. So here you see all my sneakers, right? And I choose the sneaker that I want to bid from, but I need two sneakers, so I need to choose the second sneaker, and then I'll click confirm, and I'll press mint, and voila! I've minted a new shoe, and it produced a common shoebox. And I proceeded to open it, and I've gotten my new runner shoes. And the conditions to perform a shoe minting event is as follows. Both shoes need to have a mint count of less than 7 because 7 is the maximum shoe mint count. Also, you need both shoes to be at minimum level 5 because only at level 5, the shoe minting event will be unlocked. One point to note is that leveling up your sneaker costs GST and it will take time. If you refer to the chart on the right side, it will tell you how much GST it will cost you to level up your sneakers from level to level. You can also pay GST to hasten this process so that you do not need to wait. But overall, that will mean that you will need to spend more GST on top of the basic GST cost for leveling up. Next, you will need to have sufficient GST for minting because minting does consume GST, and you'll see how much GST that costs in the next slide. Both vintage shoes also need to be in your possession. None of them can be under lease or on sale on the marketplace. Next, both sneakers also need to be of full durability. That is, if you've just completed a run, you need to repair the shoe to full durability before you're able to use that shoe for shoe minting. Finally, there is a 48-hour cooldown for minting for each sneaker. But don't worry, during its cooldown period, you're still able to use the shoe for movement and earning of GST. And in short, shoe minting takes time and GST. And like I mentioned, shoe minting does involve some costs. The higher the shoe mint count, the higher the shoe mint cost. And because of that, it is ideal to have shoes with lower shoe mint count. And as such, you will have lower shoe mint cost. And the cheapest mint cost is at shoes with 0 and 1 mint count. And if you look at the table below, you'll realize that at 0 mint and 1 mint, the prices remain the same. And at other higher mint counts, the prices starts to increase. But on the flip side, the higher the shoe mint count, the higher the chance of double shoebox drop. Currently, there is insufficient data for us to have a good understanding of what the drop rates are. But I do think that the development team put in this mechanic so as to offset the behavior of people selling off all their shoes once they reach the second mint. I'll be giving you a basic walkthrough of all the mechanics by using my first shoe minting as an example. I won't be going into the details because I don't think that as a beginner you'll need to understand these mechanics fully. And honestly, for myself, I didn't really check them out before my shoe mint. If you're interested in the full details, do check them out in the white paper on the website. So there are 5 main mechanics in shoe minting. It is the shoebox quality, the sneaker quality, the sneaker type, the gem socket, and the sneaker attributes. For the shoebox quality, what it means is that there is a certain probability which the resulting shoebox rarity is dependent on the vintage shoe rarity. That is, there is a chance to get a shoebox of different rarities. If you need the full details, do check them out in the table in the white paper online. But for me, as an example, I've minted a new shoe using 2 common sneakers, and the resulting shoebox is actually a common shoebox. Next, for sneaker quality, there is a certain probability that which the resulting shoe rarity is dependent on the shoebox rarity. And so using my own minting experience as an example, previously I have gotten a common shoebox, and upon opening my common shoebox, it reveals a common sneaker. Upon opening the shoebox, there is a chance that you may reveal a sneaker of different rarity than the shoebox. Next, for sneaker type, there is a certain probability that which the resulting shoe type is dependent on the vintage shoe type. That is, there is a chance to get a shoe of a different shoe type. Check out the details on the white paper. And in my example, I've put together my walker and my jogger to mint a new shoe, and it actually produced a runner. And if you're familiar with the details, this is actually a low probability event. And based on probability, I'm actually supposed to get either a walker or a jogger, but I ended up getting a runner. If you watch to this point, do continue watching to the end because I'll be sharing about the 0-1 mint strategy that I think everybody should aim for. Next, for gem sockets, there is a certain probability which the resulting shoe gem slots is dependent on the vintage shoe gem slot. That is, there is a chance to get shoe gem slots different from the vintage shoes. So check out the details in the white paper online, but for my example, my vintage shoe gem slots are ECCE and RCRE, and the resulting gem slots are RCRE. All these are purely based on probability and nothing is really very deterministic. To clarify, E stands for efficiency, C stands for comfort, R stands for resilience, and L stands for luck. And finally, for the sneaker attributes, the resulting sneaker attribute is actually completely random and is not affected by the vintage shoe attributes. And so for my example, the attributes of the sneakers that I have are as follows. My walker is 7.2, 3.5, 6.6, and 3.4. And my jogger is 2.7, 4.8, 6.6, and 7.2. And it produced something completely random, which is a runner of 4.0, 9.2, 7.8, and 8.0. Last but not least, I do think that this is one of the most important sections of the video. It's about the 0-1 mint strategy. And using this strategy, we are able to mint at the lowest GST cost sustainably in the long run. Right? And what you need to do is actually to earn GST and mint shoes using that. And the long-term objective is to collect more shoes. Collecting more shoes will allow you to have more daily energy, and having more daily energy will allow you to earn more GST daily. And the energy progression is as such, from 1 to 4 to 9 and all the way up to 20. But I do think that for a beginner, you just need to be concerned about getting to 9 energy per day. And as you collect more shoes, what you can do with the shoes is that you can send it to your friend and actually go for workouts together. Why? Because as you move from 4 to 9, you will have some redundant shoes that doesn't really help you. So for example, at 3 sneakers, I'll have 4 energy. But at 4 sneaker, I will also have 4 energy. One strategy here is that I can actually send my 4th sneaker to my friend and I'll still have 3 sneakers having 4 energies. And finally, you can even consider selling the extra shoes that you have minted on the marketplace, either to cash out the profit or to gain back your initial capital investment. The crux of this strategy is that you need to have 2 shoes, and at any one time, you always mint a new shoe. And with the new shoe, you can continue the 0-1 mint cycle. So if you just refer to the table below, this is what I've done. I had 2 shoes with 0 mint count at the very beginning. So you see pre-mint, I have shoe 1 and shoe 2 as vintage shoe 1 and vintage shoe 2, right? And both of them have a shoe mint count of 0. And after mint 1, I will have a third shoe, right? And shoe 1 and shoe 2 will have gone up to shoe mint count 1. And then I will have shoe 3 at shoe mint count 0. Then I'll proceed with the second mint, minting between shoe 1 and shoe 3, right? So if you refer to the row above, shoe 1 is at shoe mint count 1 and shoe 3 is at shoe mint count 0. And so I'll be able to mint at the lowest cost of GST again. And that will give me an output of shoe 4. And the resulting shoe mint count will be as such, right? So shoe 1 will be at shoe mint count 2. Shoe 2 will be at shoe mint count 1 because we didn't use it previously. And shoe 3 will have moved from shoe mint count 0 to shoe mint count 1. And because of the second mint, I'll have a new shoe, shoe 4 at shoe mint count 0. And as such, you will always cycle through this 0-1 mint strategy and be able to mint new sneakers at the lowest GST cost sustainably. I think the best way to move through the game is to get more energy. And you can either do so by buying more sneakers off the marketplace, or you can use the 0-1 mint strategy to mint more shoes. I do think that this is something that everyone should strive and aim for if you're interested to play the game for the long term. And with that, I've come to the end of the video. Do consider liking and subscribing if you found this video helpful. I do think that many people are trying to get onto the STEPN app, and there is really not enough information for beginners to start on the app. And so it will be very helpful if you could even share these videos with your friend. That's all for today, and see you next time.